yeah, we haven't played this this kind of team really, to be honest with you.
Welcome in, everyone. TexAgs Rewind presented by Specs. We're here inside the Rollo Insurance Studio. David is off, so I am here filling in for the Rewind today. We got Riley Tooncliffe over at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. We got Cade Bickham behind the glass. Riley, tell us something.
Yeah, so I really liked the Ryan Hollins segment. I thought he brought a lot of helpful insight into what's going to be going down in the finals tonight. I think it's good that the Celtics are getting Kristaps Porzingis back after that lingering injury, and hopefully Luka plays tonight. I know David said he doesn't battle injuries, but every player battles injuries. So I'm hoping that he plays tonight and looking forward to a great game.
Cade, what do you got?
Well, Schloss was locked in and ready for that super regional. You could tell in his voice he's ready to play, and it sounds like the boys are ready to play this weekend, so I like the interview from him today.
Well, you know who isn't locked in? Blake sitting next to you there in the assistant director's chair. But we had Boomer White, we had Ryan Hollins, like you said, Jim Schlossnagle, and the GOAT, Stephen McGee with Olin Buchanan. Check it out.
I know you're very bullish on Connor. Are you bullish on the rest of the quarterbacks, Jalen and Marcel, and if so, why?
I'm really excited about Marcel because of and Jalen. I don't want to jump over him, and he did an incredible job last year. I mean, all he did was just come in and
played really well.
Yeah, and the team believed in him. He played well. They won. I mean, what more can you ask from a guy? I mean, and he handles his business really well, it seems like. But Marcel adds that element that I don't think we've really had in quite some time of an elite athlete at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I know it was a bowl game. Nobody cares. It was Oklahoma State, Big 12 team, but they did play for the Big 12 championship. And he had that one play. He threw the ball really well, like 300 yards or something like that. But he had that one play where he had to scramble a little bit, and he turned that corner. Yeah. And it was like a bolt of lightning. And I'm like, man, I love that in a quarterback. Not anything against McGee. You know, that 12-yard run, I think it was against Texas, that was brilliant, and it goes down in history.
You didn't get that same flash of
but it wasn't quite as fast.
You put a good carrot cake on the end of that bar, though, you'll see that flash. But Marcel, man, he's so raw. Like he's got so much upside. And for defensive coordinators, it is so difficult trying to stop a quarterback that adds that element because they're unaccounted for in the run game, right? So you have to bring another safety down the box, which is just difficult because then it puts those, if you have them, elite playmakers on the edge one-on-one.
Let me ask you this. So Riley, he made his debut today as the backup to the social center right over here, right? Yeah. And he didn't mentally
Riley
prepare.
Tunnicliffe.
Right? He didn't mentally prepare. He came in and he did a great job. How different is it when you know you're going to be the backup quarterback is, all right, you're going to start this week, to we need to go in right now. You didn't even have a time to think about it.
So I think it's easier. I don't want to say it's easy. It is easier in college because unlike in the NFL, you didn't get a single rep all week. You don't even, I remember my first game, I went in against the Arizona Cardinals.
I remember that.
And I had never, I'd say never, I had taken enough snaps with Andre Gerard to know that he snapped the ball on his left cheek. But I also had taken enough snaps with him to know that we still had not had a successful one.
We didn't play Kentucky. I don't know that they run that much, but it's that level of well-rounded team, you know. Just watching Kentucky, whether it be in person and at the SEC tournament or on television. Trying to think the rest of the year, you know, our league is so, you have like your power hitting teams like Georgia, but they don't do anything else, you know, in terms of run or bunt. And then you have the teams like Vandy, who started to hit some homers at the end, but, you know, Vandy is the team that's going to run and move the baseball in different ways and try to play really good defense. So they have more power than Vanderbilt. And they have a little more live baseball, you know, true baseball than a team like Georgia. So maybe Mississippi State, something like that. But they bunt more than Mississippi State. So, yeah, we haven't played this kind of team really, to be honest with you.
Schloss, have you determined who the third starter potentially could be or the overall rotation?
No on the first question because we'll do what we have to do. If we have an opportunity to win a game, we'll do what we have to do to win the game. So, you right now it's Prager and Sadeo. And outside of those two guys, anybody's available to pitch in the first or second game. And then we'll figure the third game out when we get there.
Kind of to that end, we saw Justin Lampkin get get an appearance on Sunday in the late innings. Not too crisp, but I think at least he's going to play a big role at some point in this postseason. What has been the returns from him after that outing, and what are your plans to use him this weekend?
Yeah, I think for the most part in his career, Lampkin's been awesome in that role. And I threw him in that inning because I wanted the absolute best strike thrower, or one of the best strike throwers.
The top of the lineup, I feel like we're getting closer and closer to seeing that mashing that we got used to seeing during the middle of the year. There's been glimpses like, oh, here we go, here, and I think all three are going to be on the same page here this weekend.
I do too, and I think it's just based off of how hitters work when things are contagious. When you see Gavin Grahovic tag him all the other way over the fence, that's going to ripple. And I would say that you're seeing Braden Montgomery hit backside singles and then yank balls pull side out of the yard. And Jace doing better things at the plate, too, than he was a couple weeks ago. So I think that is just maybe all it is, because the talent is there. The success has been there all year. So that's not what you're looking for. You're just looking for the mental side of it. And when you see just one or two of those top 4 or 5 guys get going, I think that's just going to spark everything. So I would not be surprised if you get the offense that you were seeing throughout most of the season this weekend.
Boomer, last thing for you. What do you think is the key this weekend? What is it going to take for A&M to move on to Omaha?
The key to moving on to Omaha will be the top 4 hitters in our lineup. The pitching is plenty adequate to keep games tight. And I don't fret that at all. I think that you need that spark in early innings of games to just show that they're ready to compete, not go down quickly on strikes, and not only battle at the plate, stay alive, but get those big hits when runners are on. And if I could, actually, I'll add another one in there. I'm going to say, timely hitting.
Timely hitting.
The bases are, We'll put runners on. Put a couple runners on with 2 outs. Can we get them in? Can you get the 2-out rally? Timely hitting in those first 4 hitters. And I think if you just get a little bit of both of those, I think it should be probably a clean sweep by the Aggies.
Luka kind of understands he's at that make or break, kind of part of his career where we know that he's in the MVP race. We know he can score. We know he's an all-star. We saw it with Joker. Giannis, I still think Embiid hasn't broken out of there necessarily yet with a championship. But Luka knows at this point he has to win. He can't just be all talk. And a big part of that is him being healthy and playing at the highest moment. So I think for Luka, he's still trying to cement his legacy. And you see how he went off against Minnesota in that Game 5. And you're going to need even more from him on the biggest stages.
Talking to Ryan Hollins here on TexAgs Radio. What does this finals mean for the 2 head coaches, Jason Kidd, obviously, and Joe Mazzulla, who last year had his struggles?
Man, I think for Joe Mazzulla, man, he's going to be the scapegoat. If they don't win, they're going to say, Joe, you have the team. You got a center. You got 2 dynamic wings. You got the point. They're going to say, Joe, if you don't win, this is your fault. And at this point, for him, it's managing personalities, understand the emotions of the game. Joe Mazzulla is a scientist when it comes to basketball. He's right up there with Spolstra and Brad Stevens and those guys as far as the X's and O's. He's the student of the game. He knows it, but he's going to have to manage emotions. And this is a huge opportunity for Joe Mazzulla. Now, in terms of Jason Kidd, I think Jason's playing with house money at this point. He just has to not mess it up. But former teammate of mine, over there in Dallas, and I think for Jason, man, he can go down as one of the greatest Mavs ever, man. Winning a championship as a coach and a player, oh my goodness, he doesn't have to buy a drink or Dallas for the rest of his life if he pulls this one off, man.
All right, everyone. I don't care who takes it. What do you do at the end of these videos?
You like, you comment, you subscribe, and tune in tomorrow. And also, pack Olson this weekend for the Super Regional as we beat the hell out of the Ducks.
There you go. I can't say anything more. Thanks, y'all.